Welcome to Cross Computers and Components. Today we are reviewing the Corsair Carbide Series 88R. It's a micro ATX case that has room for a 240mm radiator inside for ultimate cooling and your overclocking capabilities. It's also got 3 other 120mm fan slots, 2 on top, 2 in the front, and 1 in the back of the case. You are able to store a micro ATX. It's got a 5¼ drive bay up front for whether you're putting maybe a fan controller in, which we will be using in our build with this, or maybe something similar to a DVD or Blu-ray reader-writer if you're doing content creation, things like that. We also have inside a 3.5-inch drive bay as well as some 2.5-inch SSD slots available. We will be reviewing its cable management capabilities. It is advertised as having lots of high down space, things like that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get the unboxing done. So I'm always careful when I open up a new case. I have this knife here. It's got a curved blade just so I can just very gently only cut the tape and sometimes a little bit of the cardboard, but I'm not going too deep. I can cut the case. Alright, so go ahead and let you see that here. So you've got styrofoam packaging and it looks like some plastic shrouding around it. Go ahead and get that removed. A little bit of a shake and out of the way. Nothing else in the box. Looks like all of our other pieces are going to be stored inside. Manual right on the bottom, or rather on the back. This thing is stored on its side of the box. So it will sit like this. Go ahead and get this bag open. This is our instruction manual. That there, make sure nothing else in the plastic. Oh, looks like somewhere there was a loose standoff. Glad that I caught that. I'll get these out of the way. For the manual, I like to keep these. You never know what you're going to find handy in here, but you aren't required to keep them. Of course, most people throw them away. Personally, I like to keep them. There's lots of handy stuff. For example, my S340 Elite helped me better cable manage that front tie-in for the HDMI port. So these things can be useful. Alright, so let's take a look here. So as you can see, it's got the plastic viewing window on the side. It's an acrylic plastic. It is not tempered glass. This is before the tempered glass became really popular. This is a more affordable case. I think it's $55 on Newegg right now. I think you can get them for $50 on Amazon with Prime shipping. So it's going to be something a little bit better for you in most cases. Let's go ahead and review the outside here. You've got this nice acrylic window. It looks like there's some plastic shrouding on the inside as well, just double protect it in shipping. With a standoff screw coming out, it looks like that's something that's definitely capable of happening. On the back here, you have your PSU shroud. You've also got your expansion slots and your I/O shield here. Room for a 120mm fan. One is pre-installed on the back for you. We will be leaving that in. Moving to this side, just nice matte black finish. This feels to be all matte black, mostly plastic on the front here as well. And then on top, you've also got those 2 extra 120mm fans. On the front here as well, you got a USB 2.0, a USB 3.0 headphone and line-in jacks, as well as a power and reset button on opposite sides of those. Thumb screws to take the side panel off. We'll start with removing the right-hand side here. I was correct. It does look like there is some more plastic protective material here. A little bit behind underneath here. Get that thrown away. Go ahead and set this to the side where it won't get scratched or damaged. Alright, taking a look inside, you have a removable 3.5-inch drive bay for two 3.5-inch drives. They are toolless. Go ahead and slide that out gently, as well as all of your included parts. Another for your 3.5-inch drives there. Some zip tie tied up, and of course all of your screws, and the standoffs appear to be pre-installed. And the one that fell out, to figure out where that one came from, I think it was this one here. Up at the top, toolless 5.25-inch drive expansion as well, and your front I/O here 3.1, and this also, of course, has your HDMI, or I'm sorry, your HD audio, so those reset switches, all that sort of stuff, clearly labeled, makes it a little bit easier. And then some SSD mounts right here. Got to flip this guy over to the back. Before moving on, I will note that the 3.5-inch drive bay is actually toolless, removable through thumb screws. It makes a really nice fit there. Go ahead and remove this side panel on the back. Go ahead and just set this down over here. Moving on to the back, you do have really big open space here. That's for your CPU cooler, for anything that's rear adjustable, needs to be installed to the rear, makes it really easy to install or remove while standing. You've also got a lot of cable management tie downs. You can see this one's already pre-tied down for you. So those cable management slots, run-throughs. There's also a back slot here for your CPU power. You also have your SSD mounts here and here. A little bit more smooth and easy to transition. Easily able to access that removable 3.5-inch drive bay as well. So we'll go ahead, we will remove this front panel. Alright, pretty easy to take off. Some plastic feet here that kind of expand after they get through those openings, and then to easily remove them, you just squeeze them and push in. Comes off really easily, as well as this 5.25-inch drive bay cover. Since we will be installing a fan controller for the CPU fans attached to our water block, as well as the rear 120mm exhaust, we will be using this 5.25-inch drive bay, just to also give you some options for those who might be doing cable management up there, things like that, if you are going to be using this for some content creation. I will say, something that makes me a little bit more nervous about the front end of this case. If you take a look here, these ports are completely exposed, as well as these switches. They are not covered in any way once you remove your case mounting. So you want to be a little bit more gentle while working around these, just so you don't want to get inside or damage any of these components. They don't look to be too easily damaged. However, of course, you always want to be careful. The last thing you want to do is damage your case and have to wait for anyone to arrive. Alright, now to talk about the bottom of the case. You have rubberized feet here. They're really durable, really hard rubber, almost a plastic. You also have, what's nice, is an easily removable filter for your PSU. Underneath, you also have some more cable tie downs that appear to be on the bottom of the case for things like your SSD mounts, your 3.5-inch drives. Those things have their own cables that are going to be easily mounted to the bottom in here. Let you guys see those for yourself, that removable filter and those tie downs there. So in summary, I'd say I'm very impressed with this case. I think they did a really good job. I would say that the material's a little bit flimsy. However, for $50 to $55, I think you're getting for what you pay for here. You are getting quite a bit out of a $50 budget case. You're getting the side glass window where you can actually see your parts on the inside. You get that really nice graphics card that you'll be installing, maybe even something with a little bit of color added, colored RAM, things like that. You'll be able to pull your look together and see the look from the side. You also get room for a 240mm radiator. That's really great for a $55 case to have that option, as well as some other great cooling options across the top and back for 120mm fan support. I would say that most of the time you're not going to get great cable management options out of budget cases, but this is not the case with the Corsair 88R Carbide Series case. You're getting that removable filter on the bottom to keep dust out, and those rubberized feet to lift it up off of maybe your hardwood floor or off of your desk in general. For me, it's going to be a hardwood floor that this thing is going to be sitting off of if I were to use this case in my daily life. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like and comment below, as well as subscribe. Give this channel some support at our Patreon link, linked in the description below. Hope you all have a wonderful week, and I'll see you soon.